That's good. How's the sound? Hmm. Little widget issue here. What's it doing? There. Yeah. As always, we'll talk about the deck first, and then we'll play it. Welcome everybody. See if it's working. Make sure the chat's just fine. Yeah, we're golden. Okay, so Zimone the Paradox Sculptor. I am pretty excited to try this out. I didn't realize how many different win conditions you could have in this list. I was pretty excited about the last week's list, where I also had probably equal amounts of win conditions, but got kind of pub stomped. So hopefully we don't get pub stomped again tonight. But this list is slightly different. I have a lot more interaction, so um, I think we will do much better than last week. Last week I was kind of Voltron-y list, and we got stomped out by a really hardcore God of the Harvest list. Sorry. Um, I call the list "Make It Double." I don't know if you're a big fan of Team Rocket, but I sure am. um, Zimone has probably a slot in the team somewhere. If she wanted to become evil, I think they would take her in a heartbeat. She kind of looks like a Pokemon trainer, if you ask me. If you don't know what she does, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you put +1/+1 counter on up to 2 target creatures you control. So, um, in my original build of this list, I was trying out mana dorks and discovered that they're actually pretty slick in this list because then you could guarantee to get the full benefit of that combat trigger, where you have a more creature heavy deck, and then you can throw counters on those dorks and they become threats in the mid to late game. Versus most dorks, when you play them, they're only good at one thing, and you never want to draw them in the mid to late game. But in this list, they're not bad. But you still have that risk of losing them because their bodies on the field. So, um, I wanted to make some cuts anyways, and I splurged on some cards. I kept this list under $100 for those of you who like building on a budget. Wanted to make it affordable to every one of you out there. Anyways, she also has a 2 mana ability where you tap her, double the amount of counters on up to 2 target creatures and/or artifacts you control. So, also significant. This is like a more cracked out version of Warhol, I think he's called, where he doubles the counters on one thing. She can double the counter on 2 things, and for paying a mana more, she has so much more density than Warhol. So, like, I feel like if you play Warhol, just replace it with her, and you probably already have a significantly better deck on your hands. Sorry, I have this cough that's been lingering. It's been very dry lately. Hey, what's up, Bad Frog, the Hermit? Nice to see you. I don't know if we met before. Let's see. We're gonna move on with the creature package. Gnarly Colony. It's a 2 mana body that cares about counters on stuff, gives it trample. There's actually 3 of these things in existence. However, the elf that does this is very expensive, I think. Let's double check. Um, Last time I checked, it was $5, and I don't want to be spending $5 on something like this. But like Gnarly Colony, it cares about counters and it automatically throws them on warriors. But I wanted to save some money and devote that somewhere else. Should, since I'm not the best Bramblewood's Paragon. This is the card. So there's 2 separate paragraphs of Bramblewood Paragon. It is just like Colony, but just slightly better. Maybe someday they'll reprint this and this will be $1, but it's from that Morningtide block or the Shadowmoor block where a lot of cards like this just like fly under the radar and are worth something. It's because it hasn't been printed in a long time. Cold Ice Selkie, an oldie and a goodie. Every time I get a chance to play Cold Ice Selkie, I'm always super happy. Has Island Walk. When it hits someone, you draw that many cards. So in a +1/+1 theme deck, it's pretty sick. This card's an A-lister in the Azuri list. I'm not playing Azuri, but it's for a reason. Punching someone for a lot of damage, drawing a lot of cards, always feels super good. Duskshell Crawler. This is our other Trampler Enabler. Acts like Gnarly Colony. It's slightly better because it can distribute a counter onto something and get that ball rolling. Rishkar Beam Renegade. This acts as a ramp piece. It turns all of our things with counters on it into dorks. And it lets you distribute 2 counters. What more can you ask for? Evolution Witness. I haven't had a chance to play this, but this came out in MH3. This acts like a... I forget the green cards that only let you return permanent cards to your hand. But this triggers every time a counter gets thrown on it. So, should happen a lot with our decks. And we run a lot of permanents in here. 25, 39, 45, 55, 91 cards of our library. Actually, I should have just went in reverse order. This is 15, so 85 cards of our library is a permanent. So Evolution Witness goes pretty far. Ghostly Pilfer, this is a pet card of mine. You'll never have a better performer in blue that's only 16 cents in terms of drawing your cards. It triggers whenever anybody casts anything from anywhere other than their hand, and you'd be surprised how often that triggers. Not just on commanders, but just everything in general. It seems like everybody's trying to cheat something from somewhere other than their hand all the time. Hydrate Crisis, 20 cents. I remember when this was $20 when it first came out in standard, but when you cast it, you gain life and draw half X cards rounded down. Flying Trample, enters with counters on it. I just wanted something to draw me some cards, and also scales up. It's really difficult to block with 2 evasive keywords. We're giving it a shot. Prime Super Sagana, another big draw spell. Gora's Follower, untapping a target permanent. This acts like a pseudo ramp card, but it does so much more for us. Our commander is a tap ability, and we have several dorks that tap for a lot of mana that would care about this, and we'll get there when we get there. But this thing pulls multiple duties. I like it a lot. Battle Mage draws a bunch of cards. Whenever a counter gets thrown on it, you draw. So Zimone's abilities will trigger this. Forgotten Ancient triggers whenever anybody casts a spell, and you could redistribute counters wherever you want on your upkeep. Sakura Tribuilder, searching for a land. We all know what it does. Managorger Hydra, a threat that also scales up like Forgotten Ancient, gets really big really fast. You witness, this is more like a card filler. Lets you return any card, doesn't care if it's a permanent or not. That's the difference between this and Evolution Witness. Champion Lambholt makes our stuff unblockable. Also scales up with counters. Mercfiend Liege. We are like a pseudo tapper Tim deck. This lets us take advantage of Zimone's tap ability by letting us untap her on everybody's upkeep. It doesn't untap our lands like Seaborn, but if we get to the mid to late game, we'll have excess mana pretty consistently because we have a lot of mana producing stuff that hits really hard. This will allow us to use that mana in excess. This is one of our dorks that produce more than just one. Like Incubation Druid, you just need one counter on it and it's turned on. So Zimone's combat trigger will throw a counter on this. You won't have to spend the 5 to adapt it and get yourself there. It starts tapping for 3. Gyre Sage. The last time I played this in my Sovereign Akanau deck. I got it to a 73-74, and I beat someone to death with it. So I don't think I'm gonna get it that big again. But that's probably one of my all-time favorite memories from this year. We're gonna try to do some wicked stuff with it again. Mossborn Hydra. This is the new, I guess you could call it, Managorger Hydra. Only it triggers on landfall. So it's not as consistent, but it's still pretty scary. Herald of Secret Streams makes our stuff unblockable. Kami of Whispered Hopes. It has 2 abilities we really care about. It puts on an additional counter if we were to throw counters on, and it taps for X mana where X is its power. So with Zimone, I found that these effects are really powerful because you could distribute 2 counters onto 2 creatures. You pick Kami or whatever else, and then instead of putting 1, you throw on 2, and then this taps for 3. Turn 1 if it has haste, but like if you go to turn 2 with it out, you could potentially have 4 counters on it, and then if you double it, it'll be a 9/9, and then you have 9 mana at your disposal on the turn it doesn't have Summoning Sickness. That's pretty dope. I'm not running a lot of these effects that add additional. I'm only running this in Hardened Skills because they're just simply the best at doing it for the price that you're being charged to run it. Colonial Hydra doubles the counters on not just itself, but all things that are attacking. This became budget friendly very recently. I'm going to play it until it's not anymore, but this card always goes up in price because of how powerful it is. I don't know. Give it a year. If they don't reprint it again, it'll be back up to $10 or something. 20 Toad. This is one of our alternate win conditions. Whenever it attacks, you win the game if there are 20 more counters on it, or you have 20 cards in your hand. Not hard to do. Willed Great Worm. Whenever a creature you control deals damage your turn, you may put that many counters on it. Doesn't care if it hits players or creatures. It's significant. Like, it's not like Vigor where your creature has to take damage to get the counters. So like that leaves people with options. Just let it hit them, and now it's a lose-lose no matter what when this is in play. And it's also difficult to get rid of because you can bring it back by removing a bunch of counters from your stuff. What's up, Bryden? Nice to meet you. Thanks for the follow. Seaborn Muse. This guy is an all-star. It's $8 for a reason. It's always been expensive. Always will be. Well, I say expensive. $8. I don't know. You can tell me whether or not that's expensive or not. I mean, people pay that much for freaking coffee at Starbucks, so put that in perspective. Give and take. This is going to be one of our card advantage spells. I'm probably going to be playing this on the take side more often. You remove all the counters from a creature, you draw that many cards. It also has the ability to throw counters on stuff too, but for a total 6 mana, probably not going to happen, but at least it scales up. It's good in the mid game, good in the late game. In that event, why not do both? Uh, just some efficient card advantage spells like Shard Course and Lunar Insight. Hopefully, I'm netting a card per mana I invest. Some ramp spells. Season of Gatherings, really sick card from Bloomborough. They did a whole, 5-color set of these. I think the green one is the second best. I would say the black one's the best because it's a win condition, but this one is pretty darn good. I think people overlook the middle ability. For 2 of the paw whatever resource, you choose an artifact or enchantment, you destroy all permanents of the chosen type. It's not just you destroy one artifact. No, you hit them all. So, and what's kind of fun about it is you could choose the mode multiple times. So you could invest 4 paw prints, blow up all the artifacts and enchantments, and then you'll have 1 left over to distribute a +1/+1 counter, vigilance, and trample. Not bad. Or you draw a ton of cards based on the power, so it's got a lot of flexibility. I do think this is underpriced for how good it is. These are our instant speed interaction spells. We got a lot of good ones in here. Ravenous Amulet. This seems like a fun card. It has this like cash out ability where you pay 4 and sack it. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of soul counters on this. So someone goes to blow it up, or you get someone to a lethal range, you could sack it and kill them. I haven't played one of these types of amulets in a long time. I kind of miss these. Like the red one, I think it's Shrine of Burning. It's like an all-time classic. Kind of does the same thing. Kind of, I don't know, hit the nostalgia for me, so I had to kind of play it. Transmogrifying Wand. This comes in with counters, which we can double. So we could guarantee that it always has enough to be killing people's stuff and turning them into Ox. I love this card. Every time I get a chance to play it, I always have a grand old time. Removing 3 things for 17 cents is always super good. The only bummer about it is you can only do it at sorcery speed. We do have the artifact ramp package that like Atraxa likes to run because we can manipulate the counters on it, like Everflowing Chalice, Pentad Prism, Replicating Ring, Astral Cornucopia. Yeah, those are super good. We could probably get a good chunk of mana out and have very explosive turns. Magistrate Scepter. This is another one of our win conditions where we take infinite turns. The significant number of counters we need is 2. So we use Zimone's ability to double. It goes to 4. We -3 to take an extra turn. We go into the following turn. We see combat. We can throw another counter on this. Or can we not? Hold on. Okay. So it's not infinite, but we could get pretty close, I bet. So it nicks what I said about 2 being the magic number because the attack trigger doesn't let you throw counters on artifacts. It's a bummer, but I still think getting 3 counters on this is super easy. Too easy to ignore. I think in the right conditions, we can probably pull it off and go infinite. Like if we get branching evolution, or is that what it's called? Yeah. No, this one cares only about counters, so no, probably not. We probably need to depend on things like Penman's Aura and Freed from the Real to get the job done, and a bunch of mana at our disposal. But it's still pretty effective as an extra turn spell, nonetheless. Sting the Glint Dagger. The beginning of each upkeep, we get to untap our commander. Unfortunately, again, we're at that equation where we also need mana so we can activate her consistently in other people's turns. Lux Cannon, this is a long time since I played this card. I just like the recurable blowing any target permanent, even hits land. So if we could maintain more than 3 charge counters on this pretty consistently, that's a pretty scary permanent in our possession. Millennium Calendar, this is another one of our win conditions. It itself has an ability to double the counters on it, but once we hit 1,000 time counters on this, we sack it and each opponent loses 1,000 life. GG. I built a deck dedicated to just winning with this. Super fun, but after someone sees it once, it loses its luster and it gets significantly harder to pull off. I think a deck like this where you're just shoehorning it in, that's perfectly fine, and it probably won't get old for you like it did for me when I was playing that other list. Illusionist Bracers, this doubles our activated ability for free as long as it's equipped. Neutering significant scary commanders, ramp. Simic Ascendancy, this is like our third or fourth win condition. Whenever a counter gets thrown on a creature, you put that many growth counters on this, and then on our upkeep, we have 20 more growth counters. We win the game. It also has a mana sink where we can throw counters on creatures. That's significant when we produce a lot of mana at a certain point. Hardened Scales puts on an additional counter. We already talked about that earlier. Branching Evolution, this doubles our counter output. Doubling a doubler. Penman's Aura and Freed from the Real, those are our kind of fun, combo-y kind of stuff. We get to invest the blue, untap our commander, activate our ability again. This is probably the stuff that lets us win with Scepter of the Magistrate. Court of Garenberg, I splurge on this. Not only is it a card advantage piece, but we get to double the counters on all of our creatures if we maintain the monarchy. The rest are lands, so let's get into the game. What we all have been waiting for. I live in Minnesota, and it's like 6 degrees out, and all the moisture is gone, so my throat is not used to it anymore. I label the lobby casual because casual on here is not the same as casual in paper. It's pretty hardcore even in the casual sense. Like last week in our casual game when I was talking about God of the Harvest, they were playing things like Gaia's Cradle and they just walked us, but that was perfectly acceptable for everybody. It's just because the cards are so cheap. I built this deck for $5 to play tonight. It's a really sweet system. It may not look pretty, but financially speaking, if you don't have a lot of money to devote to your hobbies, I highly recommend you get in a moto. And it makes you a better player too. That's another good reason to play it on this medium rather than arena. Yeah, $100 deck in paper, $5 to play online, and I didn't have to like crack open a bunch of stupid packs like an arena. I just picked and chose what I wanted when I wanted. Train, Lotus Bomb, and Fallen TR. Aragorn and Arwen wed. It's a go wide strategy. Grimgrin. It's an oldie and a goodie. It's a removal on a stick. And I guess. Huh. I guess the player on the left and right surrendered? I wonder why they left. I don't think people wanted to watch us play a one-on-one. I think that would be a tough matchup. But if this guy wants to play, we're going to play. All right. Sounds good. We'll play a one-on-one. You know what? I'm feeling kind of frisky. We'll play multiple games tonight. I kind of want some ramp. We get a free mulligan. First follower ain't bad. It acts like pseudo ramp for us. Yeah, I'll be curious. This guy might just wreck us, but no. I definitely didn't design this list for one-on-one. Certain cards get a lot better in one-on-one, like the classic in black is like Thoughtseize kind of stuff. If he's running Thoughtseize in his list, then it gets so much better. I'm not saying that he is. I don't know why he would be. But if he's running Ghoul Draws Assassin, getting vibes that this is a heavy control list. This is got Evolution Witness. I can maybe get stuff back as long as he doesn't kill it all. He's also ramping pretty good. Okay. I think I'll run out Zimone here. Get the counters rolling. Get out of reach from this assassin for a bit. Yeah, I don't get any cards from 20-Toed Toad yet. It just seems better. So lame. I have to do it like this. I could choose other people's permanents with this. That's pretty sick. I'll keep that in mind. I have a two-headed giant commander cube. I don't know if this is already in the list, but it seems like a good fit because I have plenty of cards that do that kind of stuff in there. And this is why dorks are nice. Is I could consistently hit two things with a combat trigger. But if you were here for the tech, you know that makes you more vulnerable too. cheap solo cup. Little piece of plastic in my mouth. Are solo cups cheap anymore? I threw a Thanksgiving party and we gotta get rid of the cups. So I'm drinking from those from now till they're all gone. Does he give up his gruel draws? He hasn't invested anything to level it up, so it's not really doing much for him now. I wonder if it'd be worth him giving up. Prime Speaker is a Ghana. That's kind of good. Or 1 mana short. I could protect Zimone with Swift Boots. Yeah, it's not fun. It's a little boring, but I don't want to lose my stuff either. Or at least the stuff that is particular important. I guess we're not a bad aggro list either. It's gonna have 7 damage coming his way. He does cut my output in half though in his next turn. Oh, he's gonna do a combat trick. Oh, that was a mistake. Man, playing bad. Forgot he could do that. For whatever reason, I thought this was an upkeep trigger. That tells you how long it's been since I've seen a Grim Grin. Pretty slick. So now, I don't know. I guess I mitigated the loss because like the Cure Follower is going to die anyways. But if he follows up with like an Edict effect, that'd be pretty brutal. He hasn't played any card advantage pieces yet. Hammer's good. He's playing like a flash list, and he does combat tricks like that where he flashes a creature and sacks it, and then untaps this. That'd be kind of cool. And he kind of plays it like a imprison the moon. That solves a lot of our problems. Every time I draw this card, so this is a perfect example of when one-on-one is backbreaking. I wonder if he has counter magic, he prevents this, but I think it's too good to not try. Yeah, That just means he has one less card in his hand to interact with us. There have been worse things to happen in the world. I can play defensively. I don't really gain much for pegging him for 4. Normally, I only attack if I can net more damage than I can lose, and I could stuff this out for now. My bill sack one thing goes to 9. I could double the counters and block. Definitely going to set a stop. The middle player? Yeah. Just to be safe. Hopefully he doesn't draw any creatures on tap that thing. The Mac Compass is really close to being online. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He needs 7. Penman's Aura. Alright. It's not the only one running Penman's Aura. It's like... This gets a little more dicey, though. He can swap power and toughness with this. So he can invest 1, 2, 3, 4. He can turn it into a 12-2. I double the counters. 6. Okay, so it will become a lethal attacker to my commander, which sucks. Gotta let it hit me for now. So my Zimone will only have 10 toughness. Sometimes your best laid plans don't work out. At least we're not dead. We'll be at 20 commander damage. Yeah. But now we are in a position where we have to block, for sure. I wonder why he didn't pump it up further. From this position, we should be able to block him. Hopefully he doesn't rip something off the top that makes it so I can't block him, period. That would just be the nut draw for him. Do I have enough for both? I do. He has an empty hand. I could neuter this. Oh, wait. He's got blue mana up, so you give it Shroud. Damn it. I wish I could get multiple things down without losing something to this attacking every turn. I also need 2 mana to double the counters and keep blocking this. I guess I'll keep, doubling my counters. Hopefully you can't flip this over naturally. Although, no, this targets. Yeah. So I could double this up to a lethal attacker. My wheels are turning over here. So now the question is, do you think playing the Scepter is better? Or the blocker with the Sage. Yeah, we'll play the Witness and we're gonna move on. Get some value. Prison of the Moon doesn't really matter, so we'll get the follower. He just interacts with me too well. Ooh, you know what? I guess Imprison the Moon was still not a bad choice because I could enchant. Oh no, creature, land, or planeswalker. I thought it was enchantment, and then I could have turned this off, but I can't. Just keep playing patiently. Hopefully, he doesn't find an answer to our game plan. I guess the nice thing about 1-on-1 is you really get to hear my thought processes a lot more. Versus in multiplayer, I'm just like, pass the turn, do your thing. Yeah, this is a very brutal list to play against 1-on-1. I don't know if other people would have fared much. Oh, this gets flying too? Oh, shit. Yeah, GG. Never mind. I don't know why I played this out. Couldn't have done anything. I should have surrendered last turn. Yeah, Penman's Ore is like the perfect card in that list. Oh well. Wow. This is too casual for me. No counterspells, graveyard hate, or infinites. Oh no. I play counter magic. Shit. They didn't start without me. So I get for reading things. Let's turn this stuff off. Okay. I can see why the Grim player wanted to play it out. Voltron list. It sucks that he had the counter spell. That probably would have did it for us. And then the layering of everything, like he got the Penman's Aura, which provides evasion, a way to play around his untap ability, protects itself, and gives it like stat increases. It's like the perfect card for that list. I imagine one of the highest performers in there. Even sounds like a familiar name. You know what? I had another thing come to mind. Rocky Horror Picture Show and the song Double Feature. Uh, we're playing a double feature game list tonight. What the hell? This guy wasn't he in my last game too? When he did this, he just didn't play. Got not the best ramp here. A little clunky. I guess I could see cards to chart a course. It's not good and it's not bad. Against a sliver player though. Jeez. I think we'll play it. Probably will go through my lobby. See if that guy ditched us earlier. Different dude, same story. I feel like sliver players get beat on. At least I deserve it. I don't know. Drake's too much attention to myself. I like to lay in the toolies and not put a target on my back. Oh, that's kind of trippy. Why did it like do that to the board? Regenerate 2 mana. I'd say Clot is a good name for that. For what it does. Let's see some cards. Utopia Spell's pretty good. I think we give up the island. Land here. Utopia Sprawl. I'll have 3 mana. Play Kami of the Whispering Hope, and our plan continues. Like nothing changes. Yeah. I always drop lands. The nice thing about our, like, most of my lists I build are really low to the ground. I think pretty consistently my average CMC is under 2. I forgot to check this time around, but got Vigilance. There was one card I wanted to play tonight, but I didn't get the chance to, and that was Wave Goodbye. It's like a specialty card that's not been released on Moto yet, so I missed out on that opportunity. Ooh, Ghostly Pilfer, my pet card. I do like that card. I think we want green. There's a better green representation in this list, but if I pick blue, it kind of combos well with my Penman's Aura, Freed from the Real stuff, and if I get Curious Follower, I could use this to pay into Zimone's ability, so yeah, we'll pick blue. Maybe it's against my judgment, but we're gonna try. I think Kami has the better payoff. at this point. Because next turn I play Zimone, I put 2 counters of both, and then I have 3 mana in addition with Kami. So I should have 7 minimally. If I draw a land, I'll have 8. I think I could drop other stuff like Replicating Ring, maybe draw some cards with Lunar Insight, or go for a bigger play with Forgotten Ancient. Seems more juicier. Well, that sucks. Your best laid plans go down the toilet. Been having a lot of disappointing stuff like this happen where, like, the most inconvenient timing for me. In that case, I'm not playing Replicating Ring anymore. Just blow up every artifact or enchantment I play. And of course, we draw more. Classic fashion. And then we don't get the excess mana because I pitched the land. Ugh. Pretty frustrating stuff. I guess he delayed me a whole turn, unless he kills my Kami, which would be more of a gut punch. I could put an additional 2 and be at 8 mana instead of, what it should have been last turn is at 8 mana at my disposal. I now block you pretty effectively. Come at me, bro. Sharing everything for player. The one that tutors for Sliver is probably one of the more competitive ones. This one and Sliver Queen are probably the best. Obviously, this one's pretty good because you just get Sliver Queen and your Mana West Sliver, and then you make infinite mana. Reality Shift's perfect for dealing with Clot Sliver stuff. Hmm. Eight. Feel like there's a bigger deal here with Reality Shift. Yeah, go to combat, throw some counters around. Guy could tag me back pretty hard, so we're not going to piss him off just quite yet. play the Pilferer now. And Reality Shift. His turn. See if this guy wants to deal with it instead. The Kami is nice with Forgotten Ancient. Instead of one counter, get two. And I could dump all the counters here on Kami. So I could play everything in my hand and then some. Six mana. Can't believe I let this guy hog up a third of our screen. Get out of here. You're not even in the game, boyo. Sword of Feast and Famine. Would forcing a block with Ghostly Pilferer. And he gets on top of his stuff again. Whatever. Do it. I'm not gonna block it. Yeah, sure. Do your thing. It's your value. Oh. Oh. What? Why? Stand. It's weird. I think my transmogrifying one is probably the worst performer at this point. Still Lux Cannon. Lux Cannon is pretty bad too. I have to get the counters on it to start doing anything with it. So I fed him so he could play more spells to make my ancient bigger. I think I'll let him play a sliver first so I could take this out. And then I'll kill this harmonic sliver. Or I could take away his commander and prevent him from tutoring out the remaining pieces. Like, I think I could play around this. I think keeping this off the table might be more important. I could kind of time walk him for 2 mana. Jesus, I don't care. Lotus Cobra. Now, if he plays the Shroud Sliver, then I'll interact with that on the stack and pick this off. Because then I could actually use the cards on my table or in my hand. Or actually, that's even worse. Yeah. It's the Shroud one, and then I can't even kill it with my transmogrifying one. He didn't go for his commander, which kind of surprised me. Ooh, I could dump all these counters in my Ghostly Pilfer and punch them for free. Kind of like that plan too. Ooh, I don't even have to reality shift. I could just double the counters on two of my things. Ah, the wheels are turning. Doesn't attack. Where are the balls at? Where's his balls? Someone tell me where his balls are at. I like stuff like this boggles my mind. Like when you have such a stat advantage, I guess he can't like regenerate stuff, and maybe that's why he's not doing it. Sucks to see that he has all that power and no toothbrush. That was the wrong target. Should have doubled Kami and Forgotten Ancient. But I could just redistribute. No big deal. I think I could distribute these however I want too. I could distribute on multiple creatures. It sucks I have 21 triggers now. What can you do? Wow. The guy left. Alright. Do. So I want to play the stuff. Oh. This has been a boring night. What a bunch of little bitches are playing tonight. First game, two people surrender before the game even starts, and then uh, don't even get to do the cool stuff. I mean, it was imminent. I was gonna probably beat that guy, the sliver player, to death with my ghostly pilfer. Can you imagine winning with you know, a 60 power ghostly pilfer? I That's what was gonna happen. I was just gonna throw everything on it, and then the counters. Actually, it was lethal because the counters get doubled from the Kami. So I would have thrown 21 over there. It would became 42, and then I would have just chip shot at him for 43 damage. That's pretty funny. I guess he saw the line before I did. All right. In that case, I could respect why the sliver player surrendered. I can't really respect the guy in the middle for surrendering because I was going to kill the sliver player first, and he would have had a turn to do something. At least play to your outs. See that card that you get on your beginning of your turn. Try other things. Okay. We're going to try again. It's a triple feature tonight. Maybe this deck is secretly too good. Who knew that doubling counters on two different things is OP? Ganja Ninja. Like this guy's name. Oh, never mind. How we all doing tonight, folks? Oh, he's back. It is uncannily hot upstairs. I'm gonna have to turn down the heat. PG Josh. Someone leave. Griswold, Joda, and Joda's a cheater deck. You just cheat big things for Wooberg in play. This is a little bit of a Voltron list. And this is a lands cheating creatures into play kind of list. Damn. Utopia Sprawl with no forest. That hurts. I hate when this happens. I used to play Utopia Sprawl in Modern. I used to play Ponza, and like getting this and out of forest was always just, or at least a tutor land was always just frustrating. Alright. Guess we play, because I don't want to go to 5 cards. Give the island. With the gas. Mana Gorger Hydra followed by Branching Evolution ain't bad. Might be able to just one-shot people with this in the mid-game. Some history with Ganja Ninja and Joshua here. Apparently, someone broke the game, putting too many things on the stack. See, this is why you pitch a land, because you'll probably draw another one in your 4 draws before you want to make a 4th land drop. I think the smarter play, now that I look back at it, is probably Dreamroot Cascade. I don't play any double green stuff, but like if you are, you should lead off with these if you don't have a turn 1 play. That way you have the most flexibility into your turn 2, turn 3 play. Not exactly displaying good habits at this point. It is midnight, and I've been up since 6 this morning. I work at 8 to 10 hour day as a nurse, and been up for a bit, going on 20 hours now. And I started late tonight because me and the family, we went to a Christmas event in a little bit of a drive. It's more like a day trip. It's like a 45-minute drive. I ain't that bad. Turn these stops off. The only reason why I'm doing this is I don't want to be sucking up timer on other people's turns when I have nothing to do. It telegraphs that I have nothing, but whatever. If I was playing one-on-one, I'd probably care more. Or if I was playing for money, then I would tolerate sucking at people's timer, but I'm not. There's no reason for me to be wasting other people's time, really. And I am playing to win, but I'm not serious about it. I think that's the definition of what casual is. It's giving me a red token. The hell? That touch, which kind of sucks because he could gum up the board with these things. Hate to see that. I was really hoping to have some fun with this. I'll get one good attack in, and then everyone will have stupid poisonous or death touching rats in play. Soul Ring draw. That's nice. Draw got a little bit better. Zimone is better here over Hydra. I like the pressure of this, but like I mentioned earlier, if he's just going to be giving out poisonous rats to everybody, then this is notably weaker. Like you get around summoning sickness with this. Yeah, I think it's just better. I'm not tying up my mana by. If you can pay more mana for and maximize your turn, it's probably better. I'd say 90% of the time that's true. With the Joda player, 5-color decks are always. They always hit critical mass. This guy's running Exotic Orchard mono green deck. A little weird. I guess in my next turn I can Branching Evolution and have 2 mana up for activating Zimone. If I wanted to do that. Play both Hydra and Evolution. I might be able to get him big enough in one rotation of the table to maybe one-shot this guy on the left. It's just giving people stupid bodies. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is casual. $80 land. Is it $80 or is it cheaper now? I don't remember. No, it was expensive. Counter here and here, and then I could effectively stuff out people's plant tokens if they want to try and poop in my Cheerios. do I gain from this? If I attack the guy on the left, he makes Griswold a little bit bigger. I become a little more vulnerable. I can't lethally hurt anybody. Not yet. Or do significant amount of damage where it matters. Oops, wait. We're gonna try and one-shot this guy. Nice. Ah, that makes sense. So he gives out 1/1s, plays stuff like that. The 1/1s die, and his stupid commander gets incredibly big. Now I feel good about being as defensive as I was. Because now I'm not as vulnerable. If he comes my way, I'm going to kill it, so he's going to hit one of these two instead. Give the player on the right a draw trigger. Alright. I'm kind of glad I threw the counters on these. Not knowing that he was playing stuff like this, it just... Now every time I see a Griswold list, I'm going to be thinking of this, like, combination. And I'll be expecting it in the future. I don't see it very often. I think I've played against this once or twice in the past, and they never had these two cards in play at once. But it's super good. He throws 3 counters on everything. All 4. He makes 3 tokens with the Griswold, and then he makes 1 with the cat. Pretty darn scary. This is definitely a more entertaining game than the last 2 were. That's for sure. Last time I felt like I was biting my nails, just like trying to play around silly stuff. The sliver player. And then they both got surrendered way too early. Cost 7. Phone. Hey, what's up? Not Amar. Welcome. This is my 3rd game tonight. At the beginning of the video, I talked about the list. I didn't break up my last stream from last week because I've been so busy. I had family. My mom came up here from Florida, spent time with her grandkids. So I don't get to see my mom that often, and a second of time with her is too precious for anything. Which kind of segue me to this next topic of like, I spent $5 to be a Patreon of Command Zone so I could submit a video and try to be on their show. The night I found out that they were doing it, and it was the last day you could submit a video, and then I was like, you know what? It's still not worth submitting a video and losing time with my mom. That's how precious a second of time is worth to me when it comes to like events like that. I didn't get a land, so I can't. This is a little clunky. I can draw a bunch of cards. Or I could start doubling counters and having fun with that. Could do a combat trick let him do the bidding of beating on these two players. I could outscale him better, so I don't mind playing defensively and just biding my time. Yeah, let's get the bracers down and just hang out. I can't really use this yet, so. Feeling a bit peckish. Beat on the guy with all the mana and is in 5 colors. He's probably like second threat. Like as soon as this domino goes down, this domino becomes a threat, or he could become a threat just on his next turn because he has 10 to 12 mana at his disposal. Like honestly, I think the Griswold player should be beating on this right here over the guy on the right who's playing a not so great commander, if you ask me. He's kind of playing with his hands behind his back because we're all playing with some serious stuff, and this is kind of clunky. Like this guy can play Joda and then cheat something in no problem, and it could be pretty scary. He's got a full grip of cards. Tense. Makes me a little nervous. Could get his removal spell and kill this, and then make me open. That would be a bummer. I don't know if you'd waste a Diabolic Intent for single target removal, but I've seen people do that kind of stuff, so who knows? It's a reasonable fear. Like I can double the counters over here on his end step and make it lethal enough to finish him off in one shot. But honestly, I'm still nervous of this middle player. He could still do something kind of ridiculous and wreck us. Like my attention can easily change to this middle player depending on what he does in his next turn. And what's also kind of crappy is if he kills the Hydra and lets this go, we're kind of in like this 3-way standoff where it could be between the 3 of us, and this guy's kind of riding in the trunk of the car while the 3 of us are fighting for the steering wheel. Joshua has nothing, but he got a tutor. I don't know about that. I'm not buying. Not buying what you're selling. Like why not go to combat? Give a 14/14 for a reason. I mean, he could be afraid and he wants to soak this. We're at that impasse where if I kill one of them, the other one will bear his fangs in the other person's direction. Scary situation. I hate these kind of scenarios where I'm just trying to find the line that wins us the game, but it's impacted the moment I kill someone. It's kind of strange. He should be investing mana into this. Everlast. Use a bunch of your red. At least have 2 red, so you play Joda followed by whatever stupid thing you want to cheat into play. Alright. I'm ready for you to piss on my back and tell me it's raining. I might just kill this player in the middle. In terms of mathematics here, he makes 2 tokens, becomes a 16/16. I could soak some of it with my things here. Unless he's got like a pump spell. But he tutored for something, so like letting him see and play that card is also pretty dangerous. I guess it just boils down to what I feel like my odds are better at beating. Do I feel like I could beat the 2-color deck or the 5-color deck with infinite amount of possibilities that cheat stuff into play? I think in terms of weight, this has a significant amount more of induction of fear. All right. So he tutors for 5 cards. I'm definitely going to kill this guy next. Decision has been made. That's just too much. You get to handpick 5 cards. Take my chances with the guy on the left. How's this plant token surviving? Oh, he's got the Mirari's Wake. So interesting. This is less effective with this guy still in play. I still think this is too much to just let slide. Still has 2 mana. He could just kill my Mana Gorger Hydra too. Like if he gets Swords of Plowshares or Pongify, these plants go up in smoke. Maybe he gets both and kills Griswold and my Hydra. I'd be happy with those. I kind of hope he went with the greedy play and chose a bunch of big dumb stuff. Yeah, shit. That's what I call predicting the future. Unfortunately, God. fucking sucked. Of course. Now I feel like this guy's gonna win now because he's not pressuring him for whatever reason. He had multiple chances to do it. He might even be dead by now because he wasn't gonna block. Like he took a turn off to hit this guy and then took another turn off to do nothing. And all the life I gained doesn't matter anyways because this is commander damage. Really frustrating. Now I bet you money that if I punish this guy at all, he will come my way anyways, and just let him play with the at least 4 cards he tutored for. Why? The elf dies and this gets bigger. Why do you even play this? I guess he's helping him. Maybe he could kill him. But now I'm no longer reaching for the steering wheel. I'm in the back seat. And this guy is like in the trunk handing the driver beers or something with this play here. What would be more surprising is if he let this guy live. I wouldn't put past people on here either. He just played this. He could have killed this Mirari's Wake. This is letting him double his mana production. Oh my goodness. Okay. Should have channeled that, I think. Yikes. Kami. Bad. Can I play Kami and equip this? I forgot to double. Ugh. I got so distracted by those Seiju that I forgot to activate this. Playing bad now. Well, my Kami dies, so that's a waste of time. We'll die to the static effect of the Karavek. God. Yeah, we're not playing with the middle player. We're not gonna wait and let him just win the game. At least make him work for it. I do feel like this guy kind of slightly handed it to him, but whatever. Double the double, so I put 8 here and I put 6 here, and then I double again, so uh, big. You die. To my plant token. No? I thought you died. At least the Griswold player could finish him off. If he does. Like I said earlier, I'm betting money. Who wants to take me up on that bet that this guy on the left kills me instead of the player in the middle that tutored 5 cards? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? If this guy kills me, I guarantee the guy in the middle is going to close out and win. Calling ritual. Okay. This kills 2 tokens. He gets my soul ring. So he kills 3 of my permanents and nothing of these 2. Oh, my illusionist bracers also dies. Okay. At least Joda died. And all you did over here was help the guy on the left out. You were, like I said, he was in the trunk passing beers up to us. Oh, and he hits me. Lets this guy live. Also a shocker. If anyone would have took me up on that bet, you would have lost. Now, I'll feel really bad if I end up winning this game, and I've been bitching and moaning this entire time. But if this guy wins, I won't be surprised at all. Just based on like all this stuff that's been fucking going on in this game, the Boseiju not killing this, or even hitting you could hit my branching evolution or my Greaves. That in general, him playing it as a land was not a good choice. I'd be happy if the guy on the left just wins. Okay. Blows up 3 of my lands. Well, that's cool. Doesn't kill the 2020. So he's not even playing to win anymore. He's just playing to hand the game over. I guess he's bitter because I took him down a peg. I hit him for 30 damage instead of him just walking away with the game. That was my punishment. Yeah, this game just pisses me off. Should have ended it on the second game. I mean, is there really a point in me playing? I see. I die no matter what. In the end, you should hit this guy in the right. I have no way of competing at this point. And then I die on the next combat. And even if I miraculously pull a single green removal spell, it wouldn't be enough. I don't even have a single. I would need a second mana. Yeah. I guess because it's not a long game, I'll stick around for him to kill me. And like I said earlier, I'm okay if this guy wins. He hasn't done anything to really irritate me. Well, I guess he hit me for 14 earlier. When he could have finished off that guy in the middle a lot sooner. Really? The guy in the middle. Can you see this chat? Hold on. The guy in the middle is upset that he just got killed because he gave me a bunch of life. The bizarre reasoning of people that play this game is something else. I hope this is a joke. He thought he would see another turn because he gave me more life. I met a couple of people like that where they measure the position you are based on life total, when that has nothing to do with your position in a game. It matters when you can no longer use it as a resource or you are within lethal range. And this guy, I've been in this guy's lethal range for like 3 turns. Been way too long anyways. Man, God. Really dumb players in that lobby. I'm pretty bitter about that Boseiju play. And maybe I'm upset more so because in that triangle of death, it wasn't me that came out on top. Maybe that's why I'm more upset, if I'm being honest with myself. I should probably just let it go then. I think if it was me sitting in that chair, I wouldn't have any complaints. So, yeah. Come to earth a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed. Had a bizarre night of people quitting for not really a good reason. And we won 1 game. Can't be too upset about that. So, let's thank everybody who's watching and subscribe. So it goes, yeah. Thanks, Fearless. Uh, thanks, Nadamar. Thanks, Bryden. And Frog Hermit. You guys are all cool. Let me check YouTube, see if I miss anyone else. Can I not see? Weird. I've never. Huh. At some point, I closed down YouTube. But the stream is still live here. Weird. Never tried to do that before. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a good night. Bye.